everyone, welcome back to my vlog channel. We're working with a tiny amount of natural light as the sun is setting. It looks really nice out there actually. And I've also got my ceiling light on. I might put on one of my soft boxes in a minute, but I just thought I would sit down and vlog because I haven't posted any vlogs yet in 2023 and I didn't really post that many in December of last year as well. You know what, I did vlog a couple of bits in December and they just never really made it to my vlog channel because they were never a full vlog, and I don't know, I just felt like it wasn't really good enough footage to actually upload on this channel. I feel a bit of pressure with my vlog channel because I don't post on here as often, and because some people are so good at vlog content and like filming themselves and their lives and stuff. Quite often I feel like a lot of the stuff that I would vlog just isn't really what people would want to see. I'm gonna try and do a little bit more vlogging this year, but we'll see how that goes. I'm hopefully going to be doing a little bit more traveling this year. Hopefully I'll actually have a little bit more this year to vlog. But I just wanted to sort of like sit and chat and have a little update and wish you all happy new year because it's 2023. Obviously we're a good few weeks into 2023 now. By the way, I'm doing this underpainting sort of technique that I've seen people doing on TikTok, and I tried it on TikTok myself and it actually turned out pretty nicely, so that's what I'm doing now. I just use the Kiko contour stick. I think it's in the shade 201. 201? Yeah, 201. But yeah, happy new year guys. I should have really put my fairy lights on, but you know what, it's not a main channel video. It's just supposed to be a sort of like me getting ready as I usually would. We just went out for a dog walk, which was really nice, and James has just gone to work, so I just thought I would sit here and get myself ready. I was going to do my makeup anyway because I'm going to be filming some TikToks, and I thought why not just vlog it. I always want to do a little bit of like tidying, decluttering in this vlog as well. Maybe I'll cook some food with you guys later. We'll see where it takes me. But if I'm being completely honest, I didn't have the best few weeks as a start to 2023. Not really for any particular reason, and I almost felt guilty for feeling sad because I didn't really have like any major reasons to feel sad, but I just went into the new year not feeling like I was ready for the new year, and I know that that happens to a lot of people. I've not really sort of like felt like that before, and yeah, I just went into the new year feeling down and sad and stressed and sort of like, oh shit, it's a new year. I feel all this pressure to sort my life out this year, and I almost just wanted to like rewind time a little bit before Christmas and I don't know, have Christmas all over again and have another few weeks of just chilling. Should I put on one of my lights? I think I will. Ugh, but now this looks a bit too bright. Let me just turn it down. Hopefully that's a bit better. I just wanted a bit of gentle light but nothing too blinding. I'm gonna try this. It's a new shade of the Rare Beauty, well, a new shade that I've not tried, Rare Beauty blushes, called Encourage. I don't think I've tried this one before. Why did I smell it? Does it smell of anything? But yeah, the thing is with the end of last year is that I specifically took time off over Christmas. I said to my manager once my final piece of sponsored content went live, which I think was the 17th or the 19th of December, I said that I didn't want to take on anything after that because sometimes over the Christmas period I'd be like working on sponsored content to be approved to go live in January, and also sometimes brands will be like wanting content to be posted right up until Christmas Eve, and then obviously like New Year and stuff, and I had a couple of jobs coming in and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to take them this year because usually around Christmas time, obviously it's a great thing to be busy and like be booked and busy and stuff, but usually at Christmas or like November, December sort of time, loads of brands will be like, we want you to promote our products because it's like party season, and because I mostly do like beauty stuff, they're like very beauty product sort of focused. I feel like that shade of blush didn't really do a whole lot for me. So yeah, I usually end up being quite busy in November, December, which is great, but then sometimes I accidentally take on too much and then I don't have a very relaxing Christmas. But because I have the kind of job where I can pick and choose my own work, I was like, you know what, Soph, just don't take on so much over Christmas time. So that's what I specifically did this year, and I really had this plan of just like chilling and watching as many Christmas films as I could and getting everything wrapped in time and seeing my friends and family a lot, which I did. I saw my friends and family more than I usually would in December, which was really, really nice actually. But I just didn't, I don't know, I just didn't feel like I got everything done that I wanted to get done in my time off. So I just wanted to go back in time a bit, and I was like, yeah, I could do with having like another week or two to just sort my shit out. Oh wait, why did I put that directly on my face? What am I doing? That wasn't the reason why I was sad and stressed. I don't know, I just sort of like went into 2023 thinking like shit, there's quite a lot of stuff that I want to get done this year, and I want to sort myself out a little bit this year. I want to be more organised and have my shit together a bit more and be more just on top of everything, and not stress myself out so much, because a lot of my stress is caused by my own lack of, I don't even know what the word is, I guess like organisation and forward planning and knowing what I'm doing. And also I think as well, I know that a lot of people feel like this. Christmas just isn't what it used to be when I was a kid, which obviously it's not going to be because I'm 25. But yeah, I'm a very sort of like sentimental and nostalgic person, and I don't really like change, and just growing up and having Christmas now be completely different from what it used to be when I was a kid. I kind of miss that because Christmas was always my favourite time of year. And now with it not being the same and like everybody being in different places, and obviously like my brother doesn't live near me anymore, and I don't know, it just used to be so exciting. Whereas this year's Christmas, it was just me and James and my parents. We had our Christmas dinner as a four, so it was just the four of us, but I see my parents quite often for roast dinners, so it almost just felt like another day because my grandparents were somewhere else this year and my brother was somewhere else this year, and then in the evening my parents and me and James all went round to James's parents, which was really nice. But I don't know, it just felt different. It didn't feel like the Christmas that I remembered, and I kind of had this sad moment of realization that Christmas is never gonna be what it was like when I was a kid. We're probably never gonna have everyone in one place again because everyone has different responsibilities now, you know? Like me and my brother are grown. I don't know, I just had this moment of like, oh, like we're older now and it's just not as exciting as it was when I was a kid. I don't know, I know that some people aren't as bothered by Christmas, some people don't even celebrate Christmas, but just to have the change and like the realization of like, shit, like is this what it's gonna be like forever? Like not as fun. It just got me down a bit. And I was like, oh, Christmas maybe isn't my favourite time of year anymore. I was gonna use a much like fluffier brush to sort of go over the top of all of this, but I can't find the brush that I wanted to use. But I know that a lot of people felt like that, and it's definitely not just me. And I know that January is usually a time where people feel quite sad anyway. I guess because of the pressure of the new year and stuff, and this was the first year that I've sort of felt that and been like, I don't know, just been a bit like daunted at the idea of a new year. But obviously I'm gonna try and make it a good year, and hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more traveling this year. That's what I would really love to do. Hopefully we can just make some more memories and have a good one. And I hope that if you're watching this and maybe you didn't have the best year last year, or maybe you also went into 2022 feeling like a bit scared of the year ahead, I hope you also have a great year. I hope that we all have a good year, you know, which I do have hope that that can happen. And in terms of my goals for 2023, I don't necessarily have any major goals that I want to achieve this year, which maybe I should do really. The main thing is really that I want to do some more traveling, and we hopefully this year we're going to book a trip to Australia because I've never been, and why not? Like, at this time in my life, I've seen so many people go to Australia this year and it just looks amazing. And James has been before because his sister actually used to live out there. And at the moment, I'm sort of like, while I can and while my job is this flexible, because it might not be forever, like you never know what the future holds. And James's job might also not be as flexible forever. If you didn't know, James is actually a carer for disabled children. So he works with a couple of different families and does care work for them. But he does that sort of freelance, and he has a really good relationship with the families, and he can sort of like take time off when he wants to. And as well as that, he also does some of my video editing actually when he's not working with the families that he works for, and also he streams on Twitch, which isn't technically a job. That's more of a hobby, but I mean he does make a little bit of money from it, so technically it is another job. But with that being flexible at the moment, it's sort of like, well, now is the perfect time. Like if you want to go to Australia, let's go to Australia. We just sort of think, you know, this is probably the time in our life where things are going to be the most free for us to be able to travel, so we want to try and do a little bit more traveling this year. My main goal for myself this year is to try and get my shit together a bit more. Like I said at the start of the video, I want to see if I can just be more organised and, I don't know, yeah, be better at organising my life. And if I can't do that this year, then I think I will seek professional help, and not in a jokey way, like I'm being deadly serious. I think sometimes you have to admit that, you know, if you tried to do something and you can't quite work it out, sometimes you have to ask for help, and I think that is okay. And I need to try and teach myself that this year, because I don't know, I always feel really guilty accepting help from people and even asking for help from people. Like, I don't know why, but I've always just felt so guilty asking for help, and I've never been the best at sort of like talking about my feelings, and yeah, I've just always struggled with certain things. And if I cannot get on top of that this year, then I think I will just have to admit defeat. Not defeat, but admit that I need some kind of outside help, you know? But I'm really gonna try. I'm gonna try and see if I can do it myself. So if anybody has any tips on how to be more organised and how to get your shit together, then let me know. Also as well, I need to do a massive makeup declutter, because I mean, half the products that are in my makeup collection I seem to be allergic to, which is not ideal when my job is to test makeup. But I've just got to get rid of the stuff that I can't wear anymore because it's taking up so much space and it can go to a better home. Why does this camera look like I've got a blurring filter on? There isn't a blurring, I don't think I've got a blurring filter mode on this camera, but I look so smooth that it just doesn't look very realistic. I'm not really sure what this chat has been. Just a little update of like, I guess, how I'm doing. I've not been the best. I'm doing a bit better now. Yeah, I'm gonna try and make 2023 a good year. I am feeling a little bit more motivated and a little bit more positive now. I've finally taken down the Christmas tree. If you follow my Instagram, I didn't take the Christmas tree down for ages because I don't know, it just made me sad to take it down. And I was like, when I take it down, that means that Christmas is over and I have to go back to reality, which obviously it's been over for weeks, but it just made me feel sad taking it down. So, but yeah, I did it, I took it down. Another one of my goals this year is to try and be more consistent on TikTok because, and like reels and shorter content, which by no means, don't worry, I'm not going to be getting rid of my longer YouTube videos. I will definitely still be doing those. But I've also been loving doing TikToks and reels and YouTube shorts, basically usually the same piece of content that I end up uploading on all of them, but it's exciting to see some growth there. And on TikTok I seem to have like new people that are coming in that have never seen my videos before, which is cool, because on Instagram I think a lot of the people that follow my Instagram are also following me on YouTube, whereas on TikTok it's not necessarily the case. And same with like YouTube shorts, people are discovering my channel through YouTube shorts, which is really cool. And I just really enjoy creating these shorter form content because I can't ramble as much. My goal is to hit 500k on TikTok this year. We'll see if that happens. I'm gonna try my best and I'm gonna hope that that happens. That would be really cool. Oh shit, I've just dropped my powder on the floor. But yeah, I guess basically what I want to say is if you have also been feeling a bit shit, you are definitely not alone, and I hope you're doing okay, and I hope you'll have a good year. I hope it's good for all of us. That was too much. I'm gonna finish off my makeup in a TikTok, I think, and then I might do a little bit of sorting out. God, if you could see this room right now, this room is a mess. I disguise it so well, but if you could see the state of the floor right now, there's barely anywhere that you can put your feet without treading on something. So I need to sort that out, and I'll catch you guys in a bit. Alexa, off. I'm so sorry if that just set your Alexa off. Side note, I have been loving SZA's album. Oh my god, it is so good. Since it came out, actually, you know what? I think I was about a week late, and then I started listening to it around sort of Christmas time. Maybe I was a couple weeks late actually, but oh my god, I've just been listening to it on repeat. It's so good. But I finished my makeup, I filmed my TikToks, and I think now I'm gonna try and do a little bit of tidying of this room. I'm getting a little bit hungry, so I'll probably go cook myself some dinner in a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing a bit of tidying because my thoughts are, if you are watching, then it holds me accountable, and then I have to do some in a certain amount of time. So I think I'm gonna set a time of like half an hour and see what I can get done. There is so much going on up here that I feel like that's a reflection of this room. So like this is what you see in my videos, right? This is what the floor looks like. So I'm gonna try and do something about that right now. Don't mind if I do. I've just found a notepad that has a whole load of my psychology A-level notes in it. I do not remember a single thing of this exam. There was so much to fit in my brain that the second that exam was over, it was just like, in this ear, straight out the other, and I forgot everything. So valuable to my education. Somehow I got an A, God knows how. So many new products that I want to try, and so many that have ingredients that I can't use. Pew! Okay, so I didn't quite get as far as I wanted to with my room, but I started to get really hungry, so I've just come downstairs to make myself some dinner, and this also looks disgusting, but I found some chicken curry in the freezer that I made the other week, so I'm gonna reheat that and put myself some rice on. Easy dinner, minimal effort. I love freezing my leftovers. Also, oh my god, I don't know if anybody follows me on TikTok, but did I ever think that I would be doing this with a jar of pickles? Absolutely not. What is happening? This is such unflattering lighting because I'm literally under a spotlight, but I used to hate pickles up until about 2 weeks ago. I mean, I don't like the vinegar on them. I find that a bit gross, but the actual little pickles, I feel like this with a bit of garlic and also something a little bit sweet would slap. I don't know why I like them all of a sudden when I've hated them my whole life. I guess your taste buds sort of regenerate as you get older. I never thought I would like pickles in my life. I need to go start trying some tomatoes because those are another thing that I hate. Maybe I would like them now, although I do try them like every couple of months. Very weird. These are just some cornichons. It's the crunch that I like. Very strange. Let me know. You're a pickle lover? You're not a pickle lover? You know what I want to do next? Try some pickles in a burger. I've accidentally burnt some of my rice. Oh, camera's getting steamed up. This is like a chicken and spinach and peanut curry that I made a few weeks ago. It's really good. You know what? If you are somebody that doesn't particularly like vegetables, and well, I like vegetables, but I'm just saying, like, James isn't particularly that big of a fan of vegetables. Chuck some spinach, get some bags of frozen spinach and chuck spinach into everything. If you're making a curry, if you're making a stew, chuck in spinach because it soaks up all the flavour. All it tastes like is whatever curry you've made. Good stuff. I can't remember where I got the recipe from for this. I think I kind of like put it together with a few different curries that I've made, but put some peanut butter in your curry. Makes like a chicken satay kind of curry. It's so good. So I had my dinner, and honestly, I had planned to go back upstairs and do some tidying, but I ended up just sitting here and watching 3 episodes of Nashville. I started watching Nashville on Amazon Freevee. I think they also have it on Channel 4 as well, as in like 4 on demand. But yeah, I started watching Nashville because me and Ellie are going to Nashville in a few months, and she used to watch the show and I've never watched it, so I thought I'd give it a go, and now I'm hooked. I'm on episode 6 of season 1, but there's 6 seasons, so I don't know if I'm gonna have time to finish all 6 seasons before we go, but I'll give it my best shot. Also, this mug is literally like the size of my head. This is actually one of Saffron's old Primark mugs, I think. I've had this since I lived with my parents, and I brought all my mugs with me, and all of our mugs are mismatched because I just have loads of big, chunky, ugly mugs, and I kind of collect mugs. Like, I've got a bit of a collection going, and some people find that really tacky and they hate it, but I love a big, chunky mug. I mean, this one's not even ugly. I think it's quite cute looking. I've got some that are shaped like all sorts of weird things. But this is just such a good size mug to have hot chocolate in, you know. I'm just about to sit down and do my evening routine of playing some Fortnite, while James is upstairs playing League. It's funny, like, living together, most evenings you can find us playing games, but we'll have our date nights where we either get some food or we'll cook together, or we'll sit down and watch a movie like we did last night. We watched, oh my gosh, we watched that new film with Disney which is called Strange World, I think. It was pretty good. The visuals of it were beautiful. The animation was absolutely stunning, and I'd not really heard much about it, but it was on Disney Plus, so we thought we'd give it a watch. And yeah, it was really nice. So yesterday what we did is we cooked food, we watched a film together, we also watched a documentary. We watched that Netflix hatchet wielding hitchhiker documentary, which was really interesting actually. It was a good documentary. So we watched those 2, so we had our little date night, and then we usually both look at each other and we're like, time for gaming? Time for gaming. And it works great. We get our time together, and then we get our space to play our own games that we want to play. Highly recommend. And my little routine is I will sit here, play Fortnite, and I will get up the H3 podcast, and I will sit with this balanced on a cushion on my lap while I play Fortnite. And honestly, that is just my favourite way to unwind. Usually with a hot chocolate. I think it's just gone 11 o'clock, and I'm going to try and be in bed by half midnight, which for me is a pretty early night. Tomorrow I'm going to do some more tidying in the daylight when I've got a bit more energy, so I'll see you then. Hello everyone, it's the next day, and I made myself a DIY bubble tea, and then I realised, you know what, I should have vlogged that because maybe some people would want to know how I make it. I mean, it's the easiest thing in the world. Wait, one sec, I still have my AirPods in. Honestly, whatever I'm doing throughout the day, I pretty much keep them in all day. I'm always listening to something. When I'm not making content, I just have my AirPods in like 90% of the time, which is probably really bad for my ears, isn't it? I really should probably try and stop that because I also fall asleep with them in most evenings. I can't seem to fall asleep these days unless I'm listening to ASMR. I started doing it when I was going through a stage of not being able to sleep very well, and then I found that ASMR videos really helped me. But now I feel like I can't fall asleep without it, which is a bit of an issue. Maybe I should try and get one of those like sleeping headband things that you can wear. Has anybody tried one of those? Because I used to have this pillow microphone thing, but it just didn't really work. I could barely hear it. Sorry, not microphone, like a pillow with a speaker in it. So I'm gonna try it and get some more of this done. Okay, so I did loads of sorting out in my filming room, and I've got this whole box full of makeup of stuff that I think can just go to better homes. So I would love to give a box to one of you guys. It would just be sort of like a mix of makeup stuff, face products, eye products. I'll put some brushes in there, and it will sort of be like a lucky dip box. If any of you guys would like one of those, just let me know down below and I will pick somebody and send you a box of makeup stuff. I'm gonna end this vlog here. I think I'm gonna go make myself some dinner. I'm thinking I'm gonna make some carbonara because I really fancy that, and I know that I've got the ingredients for it. I was gonna say, if you have the ingredients, carbonara is one of the easiest things to make, but I don't think we have any Parmesan cheese. I'll probably just make something else. I'll, you know, pull some stuff from all the ingredients we have in the fridge. I know this vlog was a bit random, it was a little bit all over the place. I'm gonna try and vlog a bit more in this year, in 2023. Even though it was a chilled one, I hope you enjoyed it anyway, and thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one.